Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Meditation is the most simplest. It is because we are a seeker, so we'll say it's the most simplest phenomena. And in this, nothing needs to be done, nothing needs to be achieved. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to reach, not to be, there's nothing that is going to absorb you or you have to merge into. But because what you are seeking is you yourself. This idea of seeking, it is helpful in the initial stages, but as we come to settle down, no tension, no stress, absolutely calm, the mind is calm, you find yourself to be with yourself. Then what about the various scriptures which are giving so many different techniques? All those techniques are only to remove the mind. Just as if you are making a garden of roses, you have to keep removing uh, the weeds so that the soil remains fresh. It doesn't take away the nutrition by which the rose can grow. Similarly, all the techniques that we practice, that we must practice with this understanding that they are not going to take you to meditation, but they are only there to remove all the obstacles. And what are the obstacles in the mind? Mind is saying, hey man, where are you going for meditation? Here, do you know what is meditation? Do you know what is God? Have you ever seen Him? Have you ever touched Him? Have you ever felt Him? Have you ever heard Him? Have you ever seen Him? No. So why not remain in the familiar? What is the familiar? This world of names and forms. So the mind keeps sabotaging. The moment you start sitting for meditation, decide I'm going to sit for meditation, the mind will throw up so many more challenges which you never get in your daily life. And many people leave the meditation because, or japa, because, oh man, the mind was so agitated on the seat of meditation. I can't tell you. It is only because mind is trying to protect you. Mind is saying, why you go into the unknown? Remain with the familiar. What is the familiar? The phenomenal world. What is the unfamiliar? The self. The mind thinks this way. Even though we have one data, that mind does not know what sleep is, it has got a connotation of what sleep is, and yet it surrenders itself to sleep every night. But it is afraid to surrender to its source. If we can find a way by which we, without doing anything, are just with ourselves, a pathway. The technique creates the pathway. The breeze is everywhere, but you have to open the window for the breeze to come in. The sunlight is everywhere. You have to open the window to come into the sunlight. Allow the sunlight to come in. Similarly, in the mind, the technique creates a pathway. It keeps the unwanted thoughts in check. Thought itself is an impediment in being in meditation. See? So, for that, the scriptures have wonderfully concocted so many different techniques. They said, oh, thought is an impediment. Let's take the name of the Lord, that is also a thought. Let's think of Aham Brahmasmi, that is also a thought. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarup, these are also thoughts. One without a second, this is also a thought. So when we, as a seeker, we take support of these thoughts and allow the mind to dive back into its source, to be one with its source. But actually speaking, see, just like a coin is there, one is the positive side, one is the negative side. Heads and tails. Heads is positive, tails is negative. Heads is where we say no technique is required, no meditation is required, there's nothing is required to be done. You don't need a teacher, you don't need God, you are complete in yourself, and just be. This is the positive side, and it's true. That is the ultimate abidance. But in this relative world, there is the other side also, the negative, the tail side. What does the tail side say? Tail side is the mind. It needs to be checked. It needs to be disciplined. And through that web of thoughts in the mind, a pathway needs to be created. Is it enough for a seeker? I am a father, I am a son, I am a brother, I am a teacher, I am a student, I am a seeker. So many eyes he has created, and on top of that, I am the body, I am the senses, I am the mind, I am the intellect. And now on top of that, I am a meditator. All these eyes have to be dissolved. If you can, all you have to do, if I am using the word do, all you have to be is be in one with the core of yourself, to the exclusion of everything. For a moment, nothing needs to happen. There is no happening there. It's just you and you and you as the consciousness. But you will be there with yourself if, suppose, by God's grace, uh, by chance, or by some technique, you do access and you come to be with yourself. How long will you stay there? Either you merge completely, and as you are on that path, as we are going towards it, as we are contemplating on it, actually speaking, no contemplation is required, no focus is required, no attention is required, no sadhana is required. This is the positive side of the coin, because you are already that. But if we are not ready to accept and be, then if sadhana is to be done, what is to be done? Be the witness of everything, be a sakshi, be the onlooker, be the onlooker every moment. Right now I'm talking, you are listening. Let the talking happen. Don't move from the center. Be the center. You are listening. Let the listening happen. Let the intellect understand. You be the observer of the whole process. The moment you say, I am understanding, I am listening, then you have created more complications for yourself. And in that observation, in that witnessing, everything undoes itself. Everything starts melting away. So, come to this conclusion that you are always. And if in the mind, or if the mind is still busy, don't try to stop it, don't try to control it, don't try to manipulate it, don't try to direct it. Rather, be the self and keep witnessing whatever is taking place in the mind. Witnessing means you're not giving value or importance to any thought in your mind. You're merely the onlooker. And while doing this, watching, somewhere The thoughts will cease. A window will be opened, and you are with yourself. The recognition that I am with myself, I am myself. Let this come about.